Peace and welcome to Oddly Familiar, Behind the Bleeps and Bloops. This series will take a more in-depth look at some of our Oddly entries, as we explore video games, more interesting stories, possibly some interviews, and more. Today's episode is all about Zelda Ocarina of Time and the theme of the Fire Temple. Zelda Ocarina of Time was released for sale on November 21st of 1998. It went on to become the fourth best-selling game on the Nintendo 64, selling 7.6 million copies, only 490,000 copies below the legendary GoldenEye 007. Sometime between the dates of October 26, 1998 and November 10, 1998, a decision was made to remove and replace a song in the game. It appears in the Fire Temple, and it's only in the very early versions. There are multiple versions of the game, including on the GameCube, but we will be concentrating on versions 1.0 and 1.1 on the Nintendo 64. If you want to know which version you have, the easiest way is to check the code that's punched into the back label. If you see only 2 digits and both are numbers, then you have 1.0. If you see 2 numbers and the letter A, you have 1.1. And if you see 2 numbers and the letter B, you have 1.2. These are the only 3 when it comes to all NTSC regions. Also, here are a few things to help you narrow it down. NTSC Gold carts come in 1.0 and in 1.1 only. Not for resale carts are always 1.0. Player's Choice carts are always 1.2. There are 2 PAL versions, but you will not find the Fire Temple theme in any PAL release. To sum it up, if you play NTSC version 1.0 or 1.1, when you reach the Fire Temple, you will hear this theme. At first, perhaps people didn't pay attention to it. Then, top it off with the fact not a lot of people that were playing this game could speak Arabic. This was being bought by American and Japanese players, and it was being bought by the millions, selling over 1 million units in less than a week in just the States alone. This is a Muslim chant, and Nintendo has a no religion policy. It is loosely enforced at times, but it also gives them an easy out if someone complains or if something slips through the cracks. The Fire Temple theme song comes from a royalty-free sample CD. All you must do is buy the CD and you are free to use any sound as you like. Sampling is nothing new. Many of the greatest composers have used samples. If you need a sound, then what's easier than just using a sample rather than going to hunt down that exact sound while out in the world? I would rather have my favorite composer in the studio composing music rather than outside trying to record sounds. So, with that in mind, Koji Kondo wanted a chant, and there it was, Voice Spectral Volume 1. When you reach track 76, you will hear the same chant that was used in the Fire Temple theme song. This is one of the times where it slipped through the cracks. Koji Kondo didn't realize it was a religious chant, so he sampled it and mixed it right into the track. After Nintendo realized the mistake, the entire song was removed and replaced with what many believe to be a remix of the Shadow Temple's theme. I find it a bit boring compared to the original, but they were pressed for time and they had to get something in there. This is where some of the confusion comes into play. There were rumors of controversy, but Nintendo removed it because of the religious connection, not because of any controversy. In September of 2001, in issue number 148 of the Nintendo Power magazine, a reader asked a question about the chant that was missing from his version of the game. Nintendo responded by saying it resembled a Muslim chant and this was not intended, so it was removed. Nintendo likes to avoid any drama, and that's why they have a no real-life religion policy to begin with. So now, if that was not enough proof, we know the game was released in Japan on November 21st and in USA on November 23rd. So if we take a look at the build dates, we already know PAL versions and NTSC 1.2 do not contain the vocal sample. And those build dates are from November 10th and November 12th respectively. It was removed before the game even hit the shelves. So even if there was any controversy when the game was released and people noticed, Nintendo already had the song removed. Coincidentally, one of the logos in the game looked like an Islamic symbol, so it was also changed. I can understand Nintendo. It was best to take it out before anyone noticed, and they really did have a controversy. And I guess Capcom didn't learn from Nintendo because on April 25th of 2017, they released that exact same Muslim chant on Street Fighter V as DLC for the Thailand stage. I will give Capcom some credit. They removed the song rather quickly and issued a statement. They said it was unintentional and apologized. Another game that I would like to mention, 2 months before the release of Zelda, on September 28th of 1998, Cruisin' World was released for the Nintendo 64 and also used the exact same Muslim chant, and nobody said anything. I know it's not as popular as Zelda or Street Fighter, but it's the same chant. It's just a different portion of it. Another game to feature this sample, on the Xbox, named Kakuto Chojin, Backalley Brutal. This game was pulled off the shelves because there is a character named Assad, and his theme song uses the same voice spectral sample. This was before companies could just release a patch, and maybe the company didn't have enough money to print up altered copies of the game like Nintendo. So there you have it. Sorry to spoil it for you if you like controversy. There is none here. I am ICC. Thanks for watching. Peace.